Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Heather Brown, and I am the director of the Women's Center. Just so you know, we are recording this session for all those people who are not able to attend today. It is the first week of classes. Students are still figuring everything out, but we wanted to do this session right away so that we could get the information out there so students can start thinking about what they might want to apply for or some projects they might be interested in. We're going to record this so that students can have access to it up until the deadline and even beyond. So because we are going to do several rounds of this particular award this year. I just want to start out by saying that it is such a blessing and an honor that we have been chosen to administer this fund. We are really honored to be one of the stewards of Catharine Van Nostrand's legacy of gender responsible leadership. She was a pioneer. She is a pioneer. And, the fact that we can bring this opportunity to the students at St. Cloud State University is really incredible. It's a really unique opportunity. I've been in higher ed for 18 years, and I've worked in various places that have had sort of grant award opportunities for students. And this is the first one that I've seen that has dedicated project support for leadership related to gender issues. And that's specifically asking students to think about how can they make a difference in terms of promoting equity between the genders in our society, how they can make a difference for women in our society in a really measurable way. And so it is a real honor to be able to coordinate this opportunity. So what I'm going to do today is read a little bit about what this fund actually is, and then talk a little bit about the application process. And as you may notice, I am losing my voice a little bit, so I may cut this a little short just so that I don't lose my voice entirely. But I want to say I am always open for questions. People can stop by the Women's Center. I'm happy to have a discussion with them one-on-one. And in fact, if they're considering some of the project-based awards, I would encourage them and actually require them to come and have a conversation with me. And we will continue to share information publicly on our social media and also in our tabling efforts and our outreach efforts here on campus with students directly. So this particular award is called the Catharine Van Nostrand MA Student Support for Gender Responsible Leadership Fund. And the purpose of the award is to support students committed to challenging the structures of power that discount and marginalize women. The Catharine Van Nostrand MA Student Support for Gender Responsible Leadership Fund supports a student's academic pursuits and experiences at St. Cloud State University through three specific tracks. The first track is through support of tuition. And you might consider this as an award towards your tuition. It functions similar to what you might understand as a scholarship. The second track is support for attending specific conferences, seminars, or trainings. So, for example, if you have an opportunity to attend a leadership conference that is targeted to women and women's issues, this is something you might be able to propose to the fund for an award to help cover the cost of attending that conference or training. The third track is for other student-driven projects that clearly reflect the scholarship fund's intent. For any award for the third track, students will be encouraged but not required to share the results of their project by working with the Women's Center after the completion of the project on an educational activity for the community. And this is because the work that this award will fund is of interest not just to you or to a small group here on campus. It's of interest and can make a difference in the broader community. And so we want to help here in the Women's Center with sharing the results of your work. And in particular, if it's something that's a pilot, sort of a startup opportunity where you're just getting proof of concept, we want to help you think about your next step. And so we are working to collaborate and partner with students on those third track opportunities. And some of the ways that we can share that information based on your project would be we could help you write an essay that explains what you did and why it's important. We can help you make a video, or we can work here in the Women's Center to coordinate events such as a presentation or an educational workshop or seminar for the campus community. We are willing to work with you one-on-one to figure out what might be the best opportunity to share the information related to your project. So the award fund is not open to absolutely everyone. There are some criteria that a student would need to meet in order to be considered competitive for an award through the Leadership Fund. Preference is given to students who have financial need and are also from one or more of the following groups. In particular, we're looking for individuals who might be student parents, students who are re-entering after having been out of school for some time, or someone who is from an underrepresented group. And if you have any questions about what that means, I'm going to go over a little bit. So a student with financial need is someone whose educational expenses exceed your financial resources. And I can pretty much safely say that a vast majority of students across the United States probably fall into this category. So if you have any questions about whether or not you might fall into that category, you have concerns, just give me a call. I'm happy to talk through it with you privately and help you make that determination. A student parent is a married parent of a minor child or a single parent with primary custody of a minor child. So if you are a student and you are taking care of a child, you would fall under this category. Excuse me, a re-entering student might be a little bit more complicated to understand because, well, what does that mean? We have put forth the definition that a re-entering student is someone who has completed some coursework in their degree program more than 5 years ago, but did not attain a degree. So this might be someone who started college many years ago, perhaps left to take care of a family member, for a job opportunity, and now they're ready to come back to pursue their education. And so those people are the ones who would fall under that category. And then a student from an underrepresented, underserved, or marginalized group may include but is not limited to students of color, BIPOC students, non-traditional students. So are you coming to college and you're older, you're not coming right out of high school? Are you a veteran? Are you an LGBTQIA student? Do you have a disability? Are you a first generation college student like me? Or others who have just traditionally been underrepresented in higher education? And again, if you ever have any questions about whether you fit into one of these categories, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, I'm very happy to talk through. I will say, I think a vast majority of our students do probably fall into these categories, but I'm always happy to help you parse that out because it can be confusing. There are two deadline related issues that you need to understand if you are going to explore this award. There are hard deadlines for if you want to apply for an award to be applied for your tuition. So we are actually coming up on one of those deadlines. The very first deadline is going to be October 1st this fall. And if you apply by that deadline for a tuition award and you receive an award, then you would receive that award for the spring semester. You don't get the award in the semester in which it is awarded. It's awarded for the semester that follows. So if you apply in spring and our deadline in spring is going to be March 1st, then the award would be applied for your fall semester. Now, the second and third tracks, the seminar workshop track and the special projects track, we're actually going to accept awards for that on a rolling basis. You never quite know when you might get the opportunity to attend a really cool workshop or a conference or get accepted to give a paper or have a really cool idea for a project. And so we want to be able to talk with you about these opportunities in the moment so that you can reach out when you have that need. And so rolling basis means if you have an idea for that project, put together a proposal, you can submit it through the application portal, and then it will be considered as they come in. So it is not deadline driven at all. The process we've tried to make as simple as possible, but I will also say it's one of the first times we've used Huskies Connect for this kind of a fund in the Women's Center. And so if you have any challenges either accessing the form on Huskies Connect or filling it out, or if it's just not working, again, call me at the Women's Center. We'll work through it. There are bound to be glitches because that's how technology is, but we will make it work. So again, just contact us if there's any challenge. But in essence, the student will go into Huskies Connect. You'll need to log in with your credentials. And on the left-hand side of the Huskies Connect page, there's a little icon that looks like a form. And if you hover your mouse over it, it actually does say that it is a form. And if you click onto that, at the very top of the 21 available forms is a link to the Catharine Van Nostrand, MA Student Support for Gender Responsible Leadership Fund. And you just click the start button, and it will take you through the process of doing the application. And it is set up so that you will choose which of the 3 tracks that you are exploring, and it will work you through a process that is specific for each of those tracks. You complete the application, you provide some information, a lot of it is demographic information, and then you will need to upload some supporting documentation. And for the most part, the documentation that you will need will be an essay. And we've kept the essays fairly small for the tuition-based award. The essay is about 500 words. And we really want to encourage you to spend some time on this essay. This is where you explain to us why you are a good fit for this award. Why should we give this award to you and not another equally deserving person? You want to convince us that you are the right person to honor this legacy. And we really encourage you to add specifics and use the space. Don't make this very surface level. Give us details, provide us information, persuade us. And if you ever have any questions about how to write one of these essays, we actually have done a workshop on that here in the Women's Center last year. And so we're very happy to share the information with you and talk with you about your essay. I actually used to do this for a living, and it's something I really love to help students with. So I'm very happy to talk with you at any point in time about what a powerful and persuasive essay would be for a scholarship. Now, for the workshop or seminar, you will also have to provide us some information about being accepted to the workshop, how much it costs, and various types of documentation there. Again, we can help you through that process. And then if you are pursuing a project supporting award, which is the 3rd track, please contact me to discuss the project before you start the application process, because it is a little bit more intense. You will need to put together a proposal, and I have samples for you that you can look at, and I can talk with you about what will be of interest and what will fit, and help you really put it together so that you can present the best possible proposal for the committee to review when we make decisions about whether or not your project deserves an award. And that's another important thing to understand, is that a committee comprised of St. Cloud State University employees, as well as local community members who are interested in leadership, will review the application materials and make a decision and communicate whether or not an award will be made through official university email. So that way everything is very official. Decisions about how many awards are given, how much the awards will be for each process will be based on eligibility, application materials, and availability of funds. And I will say that not everyone who applies who is qualified or even an excellent candidate will be able to receive an award in any given year, just because we are trying to be a very good steward of the funds. And so it is going to be competitive. And so pay attention to that essay. It's going to help us make really good decisions about how to direct awards. And for awards that are not related to tuition, so the scholarships or the project-based payments will actually be made directly to vendors and outside parties and not directly to students, but the tuition awards will go directly to students. And we'll work with the various behind-the-scene groups to make that happen. And finally, if you submit an incomplete application, we will return it without review. This does not mean the end is nigh. You are welcome to come and talk to us about why your proposal was not reviewed and then resubmit. And the other thing that's really important to know is that you can apply in more than one category. And so you may apply for a tuition award and then, 6 months later have a great idea, and you can then also apply through that track as well. So at this point, that's the basic overview of how the award fund is going to work. Does anyone have any questions? I think Juvalia wants to ask a question, but she's on mute. Oh, oh, there you are. Oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up very badly. Can you type it in the chat?
Are you hearing any more distinctively now?
Yes.
Wonderful. So my question just in regards to the various categories.
You're cutting out again. I think there's some lag.
Is that better?
It's a little dicey still. I wonder if the Wi-Fi connection is slow.
So I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, it's a tech glitch.
Glitch.
We still can't hear you, unfortunately. I will come find you, and I will actually keep a list of questions that we get, and then we'll post it so everyone can see. Because I'm sure that other people will come in with some additional questions, so we'll just create an FAQ and share that publicly. So given the tech glitches, I think we will go ahead and we will close out the session. Right now, I want to say, as we end here, Catherine, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough, and our students are going to benefit so much from your gift and generosity.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm happy to be here and to listen to the wonderful ideas you have. My daughter from Seattle area is also on the call.
And thank you, Maren. We appreciate you as well.
Thank you. This sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we are going to be sending out some information about letting people know it's open, start applying, come see us. And hopefully we'll see a really good group of applications come October 1st. And we'll keep you in the loop as to what's happening. So thank you everyone so much for coming today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Zach.